and other writers. And there is one thing that I cannot answer, that she asks me. People do not know what to do with freedom, even if they get freedom. And there is no point in doing anything in life, since we don't know even what to do with freedom. And we voluntarily give it up just because we don't know what to do with it. And also she says very frequently that she has given up already, and like she's 14 years old. And
that's a little early to give up.
Yeah, and all I want from her is just to do the homework. And every time she comes and she says that she has given up, and I understand that she has given up in terms of life and all those things. And so there is this distinction in opinion on Russian people that many Russians have already given up. And in some of your talks, you mentioned that there is a chance of meeting your true nature unless you have given up.
No, but the giving up that these people are talking about is not the true giving up. It's the giving up of despair. It's not giving. That's not giving up. They haven't really given up. They've just sunk into the ego.
Resignation.
It's resignation. It's not surrender. There's a difference between resignation and surrender. The true giving up is a surrender. That they are just resigned to depression and despair. It's nihilistic. It's nihilistic. No, their longing is there, but they're not in touch with it.
Yeah, but it's like
their longing is there. They long for happiness, but they despair. It's like Henri David Thoreau said, most men lead lives of quiet desperation. That's these people. Their culture has only offered them objects. They see that objects can't produce happiness. Nothing else is on offer, so they're desperate. They haven't been given the light of understanding. So they're in despair. They see objects can't make me happy. That's, if you just stop there, objects can't make me happy. That's a nihilistic message. That's not the non-dual message. The non-dual message is that
zweimal Ravioli. Und diese Suppe mit Pfeffer.
Pfifferlinge, das sind Pilzen, ja?
Ja, mit Pilzen, ja, und eine Suppe.
Eine Suppe, das geht zusammen dann, ne?
Ja, ja.
Keine Vorspeise, okay? Okay. Noch jemand?
Sonja?
Ein Salat, vegetarisch.
no onions in the salad, please.
Keine Zwiebeln im Salat.
Ja.
It's an opinion, of course, because we cannot, our opinion is the insider's opinion on ourselves and on our mentality. So we need your witnessing opinion on whether there is still hope for us. And can this hope ever result in you coming to Russia?
I could feel that question right at the beginning. I could feel that question coming. But of course, there's always hope. Anyone that is conscious, that their consciousness shines in their experience, they just don't see their being clearly. Their being is so covered with layers of thoughts and feelings that they're just not in touch with their being. All they need is to be put in touch with their being. It's very simple. And so there's no reason to be despairing or to be without hope. They just haven't been shown that they intuit objects can't make me happy. That's the first step. But they haven't been yet. That's the nihilistic message. It's the via negativa. Nothing. Not this. They haven't yet been given the via positiva. So
and we can't give it to ourselves by ourselves.
Most of us need the help of a friend or a teacher. Most of us need some help. It's too very occasionally. Raman Maharshi. There are people who come spontaneously to this, but it's extremely rare. Most of us need help, and we need guidance to find our way. So you know, like we do here. So will I come to Russia?
Because you see, there is this group on Facebook, and there are about 1,000 people there. And my mother, she does work for this group. She posts there every day, and she doesn't know if it's going to result in anything.
If England get through to the World Cup final, and you get me and my son a ticket to the World Cup final next Sunday, I will do a satsang in Moscow on Monday night.
Если Англия выйдет в финал, и вы мне с сыном достанете билеты, я сделаю в тот же вечер.
I can't, and I'm afraid I have no magic powers, no, so I can't help England. But if they were to
У
get
меня
through,
нет магических сил волшебных, чтобы это самому получить. О, it's challenge, а?
it's a challenge. Yeah. So, as you know, Igor, I'm not adding anything onto my schedule now because my schedule is very full. But having said that, there's always
That's why I'm asking about like ever.
there's
Is it
always
ever
a
possible?
no. I never say never. There's always a possibility for a new. I don't take on much new, but there's always a possibility. I would come to. I basically go to places where there is a lot of interest.
Обычно я
I have
приезжаю в
to.
места, где много
I get
интереса.
invitations every week to go all over the world.
Меня приглашают
I
со
have
всего
to go to
мира,
where there's the most interest.
но я
I no longer want to go
должен
to
туда
a place
пойти,
where
где
20
больше
people
всего
will
интереса.
tell me. It's not a good use of my time. So, coming here last year was an experiment.
В прошлом году был
I
эксперимент.
was very
приехать сюда, в
surprised.
Германию.
200 people came. So I thought, okay, there's lots of interest there. I'll
200
go back
человек, я
again.
понял, значит, большой интерес.
If you can provide a decent number of people in Moscow,
Если ты можешь
St.
собрать в
Petersburg,
Москве,
wherever the place
или
is,
в Киеве столько людей,
I would come.
я приеду.
But you'd have to find a group that was interested.
Тебе
Yeah, but
нужно
you see,
найти
for us, in
группу,
order to
которая
find
в
this
этом
group,
будет
we
заинтересована.
need a small kind of encouragement.
You need
from
some
you.
encouragement. Okay, so then
It's like as if, you know,
that's where the Facebook page, the YouTube channel is helpful because
Facebook это
the
хороший
YouTube
начало.
page is translated into Russian. My Facebook page is translated. If part of the website is translated, if the book's translated into Russian, that will generate interest.
yes, and
YouTube is the best way.
Это
And you
уже
see, that's
хороший
why
начало.
now we invited you because we wanted you to make a small message for Russians, addressing Russians, saying like there is hope.
Сейчас мы хотим тебя попросить на небольшое
Lass
послание.
ihnen einfach die Flasche da,
Да,
oder?
да, да.
But they shouldn't pin their hopes on me.
Я уже записывал.
I don't want to give.
Я
I
записывал.
don't want to commit myself to but also they don't need a commitment. If you find if there's a good group, if I see if you were Igor, you were to tell me I have a group of people in Moscow. If you come for a weekend, there'll be 150 people there. I would
Well, you know,
try to come.
all that people need is just that you are aware of them, that they are aware of you. That's what people need.
So when you say people, who are these people? Who are they?
Well, it's my mother and the group on Facebook. She's holding.
So your mother does the Facebook. What do we
Yes.
have in Russia? We have a Facebook page,
Yes.
Yes,
and
yes.
it's your mother that
Yes.
that
Yes.
posted.
Yes.
Since the very beginning, since
I remember we've had it for a while.
yeah.
And what does she
Yes.
translates
Oh,
things?
yes,
or-
that's another thing because she got this book, Being Aware of Being Aware, and she also she asked me to ask you if it's possible for her to translate it, like to ask your permission.
Well, if she wants to translate it and just circulate it amongst her friends, she's welcome to do that. If you want to get a proper translation, Russian publication of it,
Well, yeah, publish.
then
Sure.
if to get it published, that's fine. It would be nice to get it published, But then we have to go through Rob. Rob is the person who runs Mindful Publishing Company, and he does all the foreign publications. And obviously, if it's going to be published through a foreign publisher, we need to have a contract and an agreement, and we need to agree on. And Rob will. It's fine. It's nice to do that, but you need to do it with Rob. So go onto my website, go onto contacts, go to Rob, say we had this conversation, you suggested publishing, being aware, and he will get the process going. No, it would be very nice.
Habe ich Sie beständig, glaube ich, die schon
Есть мои
nachweisen.
контакты, в том числе он.
No, I'll make a little recording for you. I'm very happy to. Yeah. And the Russian YouTube channel,
Yes, yes.
we have a
We have more than 30 videos. They are already translated
How many?
into Russian. 33, I think, or 34.
33. That's good.
Yeah.
And what is the viewership? How many people are looking at the YouTube?
Some of video, 20,000 people watch, 25,000.
You think that's a lot?
Yes.
Okay, so somehow you need to get the message out to those 25,000 people.
Yes.
Bisschen
And
Radieschen und
Get-
Quark
get- so
vorneweg.
that you
Ich
can
habe 4
communicate
Löffel,
with
ist
them.
für die Suppe.
and you need to be able to communicate with them, and then we could do a weekend.
Organize the event, you mean?
Well, first of all, we have to be sure that you've got a big enough group.
Yeah, it should be on the basis of some existing famous spiritual center who has already some audience.
Okay, yeah.
Like you mean like the Study Society or some others? How did you come to France, to Italy?
Because
First time.
I had, you see, France and Italy, I started off going to France and Italy because I had friends. I started going to France and Italy very early on, 8 or 9 years ago when I started teaching. So when I first went to France and Italy, 30 people came.
I see, yeah.
Friends in the invite, the organizer had a group. So then 20 or 30 people, the next year it was 40 or 50, the next year it was, so it's grown.
Mhm.
But that was fine 8 or 9 years ago.
Yes, yeah.
But I don't want to come to Russia now with 20 or 30 people, just because it's not, it's sort of, my time there's only so much time. I need to
see.
go where
Yeah, it's clear.
the most people are. So I can't any longer do a meeting with 20 people.
Говорит, я спросил, как
So-
он приезжал в Италию, в Францию первый раз. Он говорит, когда
But
9
do you
лет назад
know
было 30 человек.
people, do you know someone who had, for instance, Alfred here. I came here for the first time last year,
Yeah.
and 200 people came. That's partly because I'm better known now in Europe,
Когда
but
он
also
в
partly
Германию
because
приехал, в прошлом
he
году было
has
200 человек.
an organization with
У него
contacts.
организация со своими
So
контактами.
you would need to find someone in Russia who already had.
Yeah, of course, we can find it.
She has a lot of connections in her group. Yes. It's just that she feels
конечно.
somehow that you
Если
are not
Англия
aware
будет
of
финал.
like the
Я
organizer
же не знал, будет
in
она или
Russia that
нет. Я
is
могу
willing
узнать.
I
to
see,
organize
okay.
То есть
something.
это не значит, что он будет, но узнать
That's what
можно.
she wanted. She
But
wanted
if
like a
even
confirmation.
Okay.
England will not come into the final, yeah? Are you ready to come also?
If
If
England,
we will arrange the tickets.
if England gets into the final and you can get me and my son a ticket, I'll come next week. If England don't get into the final, then it may take a little longer to get me there.
Okay. Если он говорит, если Англия войдет, я тут же буду там. Если она не войдет, мне нужно будет напрячься, чтобы туда попасть. She has some relatives in that field in Moscow.
Okay. But your mother has a group.
Oh yeah.
What kind of what does she organize? Does she organize? What kind of things does your mother do?
Well, you know, like we have this joke with my mother that we're in spirituality like saints 19 or something. So she's a long time in spirituality, and that's why she has a lot of people in Russia who know her, because she used to translate a lot in India for the spiritual classes.
For who in India?
Amma Bhagawan University, Oneness University.
She used to translate from Indian into Russian? No.
From English into Russian.
From English into
Yes,
Russian.
and she used to be like the main translator from the whole like Russian people.
21-day courses.
Yes, for 15 years. And so a lot of people in Russia know her as this translator. And I used to travel with her to help her. That's why I'm her representative.
So now, what kind of a group is she?
Well, you know,
Or
because
let me ask you now. A mailing list.
how many?
How many people on that mailing list? How many people is she connected with?
Oh, well, I think she's connected with about 1,000 people. About 1,000.
Yeah.
But you see, we live in a small town in Crimea. It's a resort city.
Я через
And
YouTube
all
узнала,
those
помнишь,
people, they
через
are,
YouTube
of
тебя
course, like
достала?
spread all over Russia. They're all from different places, like from Belarus, and Ukraine, and Kazakhstan, and like all the different places. And so they need, you know, this like call to rise and come, because Crimea is the place where most of these spiritual retreats take place, because it's like the most gorgeous place in Russia. It has mountains and sea, beautiful nature.
And if we did something, where would be the place to do it?
For my opinion, it's Kyiv is the best place. It's the
Yes.
capital of Ukraine.
Yeah, we still have to discuss it.
Because in this case, the Russian can come there. It's more close to you, and all the Ukrainian people, including Crimea people, can come. That's my because I am from Ukraine also,
Yes,
but
maybe it has to
she's
do with
more
it.
connected to Moscow, and it can
Yeah,
be.
because the biggest problem now is the politics, you know, between Ukraine and Russia, because it's very unstable, and the people somehow they do not trust between Ukraine and Russia because of the politics, because of this like this war, you know, going on there. So
But
this
both
status is
both
not-
Kyiv and Moscow have a very good experience of the spiritual teachers coming. Muji was in both of them,
Where did Muji go?
both in Moscow and in Kyiv.
Did he?
He was, yeah.
And
In-
who organized it for him?
No, my friend organized his travel to Kyiv. Как этого зовут немца, на которого ты ходила?
Экхарт, то ли? Он на один.
Сколько человек было?
6 тысяч. Самый
6,000 people came in Moscow to Eckhart Tolle meeting
One day.
last year.
And who organized that?
большой. Я не знаю, кто организаторы. Ну там говорили.
It was informed in 1 year in advance. That's why it was time to inform people. That's why if you will come to Moscow, it can be also like 5,000-6,000 or even 10.
No, you won't get 10,000 people to come and listen to me in Moscow. I don't think so.
Challenge. It's a challenge.
You get 10,000 people, I'll come.
Okay.
Ну,
It
вот,
doesn't, need,
ты-
it doesn't need to be that many, but it needs to be a decent size.
Игорь, вот переведи, вот нас вот ищущих вот привлекает прямой путь к осознаванию, что мы как бы, вот я, например, сразу попала на YouTube на него. Прямой
So people are directed is a direct path, as which you represent. That's why this attract her in the first row. That's why she came to you. She just found one of this our video translation into Russian of your lecture, and immediately she contacted.
How did you come?
Чё?
То есть ты просто в YouTube случайно попала?
Да, да,
Just in YouTube by
On
chance.
the Russian channel? On
да,
my
Russian,
Yes,
Russian,
yes.
ага. Прямой путь к просветлению.
It was your answer, direct path to enlightenment.
I think YouTube is the best tool. If you were to ask here, when on my retreats I ask people, how do you come to be here? I would say 95% of people say YouTube.
На всех семинарах я спрашиваю людей, как вы сюда попали. 95% людей говорят через YouTube.
Да. Потому что мы на Ютубе постоянно слушаем, и в конце концов вот так слушаем.
Because we
бац,
listen somebody who is interested to us all the time in YouTube, and then by chance it comes, let's say, your
Она дает
name
подсказку.
of your answer, and then it's interesting for us and we come in.
У нас вот в Азии у женщин очень большое тело боли. И когда я ваш вопрос поместила в сети, многие женщины спрашивали, что он ответил. Ну, как бы есть интерес.
In Asia, many women have this body of pain from Eckhart Tolle. It's very strong. They say when I put your answer to my website, to my page in the Facebook, many women started to ask me more about it.
Что он ответил, что он сказал и как.
Last year she was asking about that. What you answered?
И до сих пор у нас очень много разводов сейчас, правда, современных, но тело боли до сих пор есть.
Because until now we have a lot of divorces.
A lot of
Divorce.
Да.
Also, since I remember,
Yes.
my mother also had another request for you. She somehow made this research and she found out
Vegetarisch, ja, da
that
ist kein Fleisch dran. Weltbauern Ravioli.
Ravioli, here, Suppe, eigentlich hier.
Einmal
my mother found out that you have
die
some
Löffel
poetry
für die Suppen haben noch hier.
How did she find that out?
Вот ложки на суп.
Löffel haben wir hier. Ich nannte
Because
das
she knows the way somehow. She's long time in spirituality. And well, actually, what she does in the Facebook
Yeah.
group, she
Which one?
well, not actually in the Facebook group. She does it on her own page on Facebook. She takes some inspiration from your words and she composes the poetry on her own. Yes, and so that's her like creative work that she does. And so she was very much inspired when she found out that you also have poetry, and that's why she asked me to ask you if you ever think of publishing it.
I don't have that much actually. But maybe one day I will publish it sometime. Not that much. But